Stage 5 of La Vuelta 2017. Today is Wednesday, 23rd of August, and it goes from Benicassim to Ermita Santa Lucia. And it's on the northeast of Spain again, so you get to see the countryside from that part of the world. It's a particularly bumpy layout to the course, and we're going to see a GC shake-up, which is very rare to have this early on in a tour, and that's what makes the Vuelta so exciting, because it always just chucks in the GC contenders together on these mountainous stages throughout the entire race. Just to let you know, if you check out my website, captainsmithdesign.com, you can find all of these stages, all the profiles, all the information, as well as captions and my insights into the stages. So check that out, captainsmithdesign.com. I'm sure you'll find something of interest to you there. Okay, so we've got a lumpy stage today on stage 5 of La Vuelta 2017. And I don't usually pick out the polka dot jersey because I can't paint everything. It's something which usually goes under the radar. This was David Vieira, who's wearing the blue polka dot jersey, which is the Spanish King of the Mountains. I picked out this moment because there was a checkpoint where you get mountain points. And he obviously wanted to score them to maintain his lead on the jersey, the blue spotted jersey, saying he's going well. And what I thought was really funny and stand out about this particular scene is that he was up on the pedals and he was riding his own rhythm and he was at the front. And the checkpoint was about 50 meters away. And they're going on this uphill, so it's quite difficult to judge the speed and you don't want to blow out too easily. Anyway, the guy behind him starts attacking him to get the race points lead. And David Vieira didn't realise. He was just chilling, looking at his own stuff, like minding his own business. This guy comes out, I'm like, David, he's behind you. And he doesn't realise the guy is he's really pushing on the bike. But something's weird happening because the guy doesn't overtake Vieira. He just stays right beside him. And then, so I'm Vieira, cycling along, watching my own business. The guy's here, you can see him as a watcher, and he's coming up to the side, and he's all coming like this, I'm going to overtake you, and Vieira's like this. The guy's really going for it. You think he's going to overtake here, but he doesn't overtake, he just goes alongside him, because he can't go fast enough. And David Vieira, who's minding his own business, he sees him, he's like, oh, bloody hell, and then he cycles off. So he just nails the points. I thought it was a great moment. So I decided once I finished this painting to tweet it to @CarltonKirby, who's the commentator for Eurosport. Let's see what happens.
I was just mentioning a few moments ago, Captain Smith, the tweet the captain. Have a look. I've actually just followed him, and I've just retweeted him as well, because that's as deft a piece of watercolouring as you can imagine. He builds himself, and quite rightly too, as the unofficial artist of the Tour de France and the Vuelta. And that is a good effort, so thank you, my friend. Very much appreciate seeing that. I'm going to put it up there for some of you others to enjoy. Just 850.
This particular image that I'm working on now is of the breakaway, and there is a helicopter. First of all, the landscape is really bizarre. You get these drop-offs in Spain where the road, plateau, drops off, and then you've got a large expanse of land, effectively, which looks quite barren and untamed. And so you've already got that, which looks a bit sort of strange and very Spanish. And there was this chopper. This was like a Die Hard movie where the chopper's waiting for them at the end of the road, so one of them could leap off their bikes and hang on to the rails at the bottom and fly off. And anyway, the helicopter. Sorry, I'm not Arnold. Get to the chopper. Get to the chopper. And the helicopter is just sort of lingering at the bend in the road, and it just looked enormous. And it really struck me as like, whoa, that's kind of close, isn't it? But I thought that was quite exciting. And I'm also working out this new style, which I'm really happy with. So this is the first few forays into this new style where I'm being more loose and more splodgy. A lot of the time with these breakaway riders, I have to admit I don't know their names. So I'm just going to say them as if I know what they are. And this is a rider called Hala from Katusha. And actually, I did know this guy, Alexander Lutsenko, because he was part of a 16-man breakaway on the 2016 Tour de France on stage, I think, 13.
Let me quickly check this. Doesn't sound right to me.
So I checked book, and it turns out it was not 16 man, it was 14 man. It was on stage 17, not 13, and Lutsenko was there, so that I was correct on. And these two guys broke away from the breakaway, which made it to sort of 5 minutes up ahead of the GC contenders. So they were sort of released, and you knew one of them was going to win the stage. And it got a little bit frantic because they worked together to get to that point. And then there's always the moment where you've got to burn your bridges and go for it. And these guys both went for it. So I'm picking up on the moments that I like and the things that I think are important. And I try and pick out something slightly different from the usual race narrative. And as a lot of you know, I'm a big fan of Constor. Equally, I absolutely love Chris Froome as well. Both of their riding styles really speak to me. And I think they just don't give up. I love that characteristic in sportsmen and in anyone really. There's something so valiant about keeping trying even though everything is against you. And Constor, OMGE, yesterday loses 2 minutes on the ramps. Today, God knows how, he manages to keep up with Chris Froome, who managed to drop all the other big names. Alright, so what you do first, in case you want to know, is you load up the brush. Oh, sweet. You load up the brush with a load of water. So what you do is you squeeze that bit. Obviously, if you don't have one of these pens, just get a paintbrush and do it. Alright, I'm going to go conservative. So that's quite pale. You can see through it there. I'm going to go conservative, not go too wild. I think we need a big one. So on 3 we'll do this, alright? 1, 3! I like that one. Oh, it disappeared because it's soaked into the wet ink. Alright, well look, I don't want to overdo it. As I said, black, maybe some little black flecks. So then, I remember I learned this in school, you get the pen with the fountain pen. So they're already, you can't load them up with ink, they already have it. And you get the finger, I'm sure you can see this alright. You get the idea. Where are we going to go? We're going to aim for Constor's right hand with the big blob. Wouldn't it be amazing if I got it? Let's do it that way around. 1, 3! Ah! See, now we ask ourselves the question, was it worth it? Let's see that. Okay, so then this is the danger with painting like an idiot like me. You get that sort of action. Okay, this is not a big deal because it's watercolour. Just do a bit of that. And it lifts off quite easily actually. And I like these mistakes. There's the saying, and then I don't know where I heard it. It's like a businessy saying, which is that about apps, that it's not a glitch, it's a feature. So that is now a feature of the work. That is what makes it different and stands out. Anyway, there we go. So there was some live. Oop. Sorry, the reason why I went oop is that I look through the camera to see it from a different way, and sometimes something just jumps out at you, and you see, oh, you see a blob of white which you didn't like. Well, that was a blob of white I didn't like. Other times you might see you haven't filled something in. I don't like this background actually up here, so I'm going to now do that.
Vamos, contador! Vamos!
Go through! Free!
Allez, Bardet! Bardet, allez! Forzaro! Forza, Forzaro! Dai! Ole!
Yeah, the question The lighting on my face makes me look about 80. Not that that should be an issue. Nothing wrong with being 80. Unless you're 30. Which I'm not, I'm 24. Nibali is the big loser from stage 5, dropping back to 36 seconds behind Froome. Aru also drops to 49 seconds from 38. Bardet, the Frenchman, sadly completely off the map, gone to plus 137. Froome stays at the top in red, and close on his tails, chomping away, is Esteban Chavez at 11 seconds, who moves not at all after stage 5 of La Vuelta 2017. As a bid to lose a little bit of weight that I've put on recently, I'm doing a raw till FAugust challenge, where you eat raw food up until 4 o'clock during August. Good name. It's completely by me. Hashtag me. Hashtag raw till FAugust.
Balde, allez.
Forzaro, forza, forzaro, dai, dai, dai. Ole!
Dog shit, but it's only day 5 of the 30 minutes of cycling for 30 days, so I can't give up yet. Off to the gym again.
Viva España.
Here we go again.
Vamos, contador. Vamos.
Go through! Free!
Allez, Bardet. Bardet, allez.
Forzaro, forza, forzaro, dai, dai, dai. Ole!
Walk in the park. That is my sweat. Half an hour. There. I've got a superbly talented friend of mine from school. He's in this picture here, who I went out to have a couple of glasses of wine with last night. It was lovely. And we've agreed to do a cycling song for everyone out there who likes that silly little thing that I put together. And he's going to give it his little touch of finesse. So that's coming up. Look out for that one.